I never believed that a normal drive could turn into something that feels like hell opening slowly around you. I used to think horror stories were exaggerations, things people said for attention, until the night I found myself gripping a steering wheel, so hard that my fingers went numb. Praying silently that the road in front of me would finally end it started like any other trip. Me, my best friend Jason, and my cousin Mark, driving from Ohio to Pennsylvania for a short weekend break. Just 3 tired college guys looking for cheap food, cheap motels, and some peace from exams and life stress. It was Valentine's weekend. Highways were crowded earlier, so we decided to leave late at night to avoid traffic. We left around 11:40 p.m. My old Honda Civic humming softly, heater on low, phone connected to GPS, coffee cups in the holders. Jason scrolling TikTok in the passenger seat, Mark sleeping in the back, hoodie pulled over his head. Everything felt normal to normal. At around 1:17 a.m., the GPS suggested a shortcut. Save 28 minutes. Jason looked at me and said, "Bro, take it? I'm dying here. I want to reach Fasty." Hesitated for maybe 2 seconds. Then I turned the wheel, and that was the mistake that ruined everything. Highway slowly changed into a narrow road. Trees started closing in from both sides. Streetlights disappeared. Phone signal dropped to 1 bar, then none. Radio turned into static. The air inside the car felt heavier, like someone slowly increasing pressure. Jason joked, "Bro, this looks like a horror movie road." I laughed and said, "Shut up, man. Don't start that crap." But inside, something felt wrong. The road kept going straight. Number turns, no houses, no gas stations, no cars, nothing. Just endless black trees and cracked asphalt. Headlights barely cutting through the darkness. After 20 minutes, I noticed something strange. We passed the same broken signboard again. A green board with half the letters missing. Hanging sideways, I slowed down and said, "Wait, didn't we pass this already?" Jason looked up, frowned, and said, "No, wait." 10 minutes later, we passed it again. My stomach tightened. I tried refreshing GPS. It froze, then restarted, then showed a blank map. No roads, no location, no signal, just a blinking dot. Me floating in nothing. Mark woke up and said, "Why did you slow down?" I said, "Bro, something's wrong. This road is repeating." He laughed sleepily. "You're tired? Keep driving." I did, but fear was starting to crawl inside me. Then I saw it in the rearview mirror, headlights far behind us, 1 car. Following, I relaxed a little. Okay, at least someone else is here. But after 15 minutes, it was still there. Same distance, same brightness, same position, not getting closer, not falling back, just watching. Jason noticed and said, "Bro, that guy has been behind us forever." I nodded and sped up 90 mph. The headlights stayed. I slowed down 60 mph. They stayed. I stopped the car on the road, heart pounding. The headlights stopped too perfectly, like they were connected to us. Mark whispered, "Why did he stop?" I tried to laugh. Maybe he's scared of us. But my voice shook. I started driving again. They followed always. Always. Then the first sound happened, a soft knock from the back window. Tap, 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 tap. Jason froze. "Did you hear that?" Before I could answer, another knock, harder, from the side window. My side. I looked. Nothing was there. No person, no animal, no branch, just darkness. Suddenly Mark screamed, "Bro, what is that?" He looked in the mirror and saw a shadow inside the back seat. Between him and the door, tall, thin, twisted, its head bent sideways, like broken. It slowly raised 1 hand and touched Mark's shoulder. Mark screamed and kicked. The shadow vanished. The back seat was empty. Mark was crying. I didn't stop the car. He couldn't be. Legs felt locked. Then the scratching started on the roof like nails. Dragons. Serene sea covered. His ears. "Stop, stop," I yelled. "I can't. It's not responding." The brake felt dead. The gas pedal felt heavy. The car was driving itself. We passed a road. Signed Real Moon to RIDGWA. 5 minutes later, WLCO to RIDG Nova. And over like a loop. The headlights behind us suddenly came closer, right behind us. So close, I could see their reflection inside our car. Then something hit us. Bang. Car swerved, windows cracked. Mark hit his head. Blood started dripping from his forehead. He whispered, "It's inside." I turned, saw handprints in the inside of the windows, bloody, smearing, sliding, like invisible hands were touching us. Then the voice started, my voice, from the backseat, slow, soft. "Wrong. Why are you running?" Jason screamed. "That's your voice." I felt cold breath on my neck. My body went numb. My phone suddenly turned on, camera recording by itself. On the screen I saw us from outside driving, but inside the car there were 4 people, not 3. The 4th thing was sitting behind me. Its face was black, hollow, mouth too wide, smiling. It leaned forward and whispered into my ear, "You opened the door when you took this road." Jason started choking, like hands were squeezing his throat. He gasped. Help me tried to grab him, but my arms went through something. Cold, slimy, not air, not flesh, something else. Mark screamed and pointed outside. The road was gone. We're driving through darkness, no ground, no sky, just floating. The headlights revealed shapes, faces, bodies standing in the dark, watching us pass, all staring, all smiling. Some were burned, some broken, some twisted. They reached for us, hands stretching, clawing, hitting the car. DNT, dent, DNT, cracks. Spread. Wind rushed in, cold like death. Jason suddenly stopped moving, his head tilted, eyes open, not blinking, blood running from his nose. He whispered, "It's my turn." Then something pulled him backward through the seat, like he was sucked into nothing. He disappeared, gone, just empty seat, blood floating in air. Mark screamed my name. I screamed his. The car suddenly stopped. Silence, no engine, no wind, no sound. We're standing on the road again, normal road, trees, asphalt lines, like nothing happened. I breathed hard. Maybe it ended. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder, cold, heavy. I slowly turned. Mark was gone. Back seat was empty, but something was sitting there now, wearing his hoodie. Its face was half melted, eyes missing, mouth torn. It spoke with Mark's voice. Drive. I tried to run, but my seatbelt locked. Thing leaned forward. Its fingers entered my skin, not cutting, not tearing, merging. I felt memories leaving my head, my childhood, my mother, my name, everything fading. My phone dropped, still recording, battery at 2%. I whispered into it, "If anyone finds this, do not take shortcuts at night. Do not trust empty roads. Do not follow GPS blindly. Some roads are not meant for humans." The thing hugged me, and the car started moving again, driving into darkness. Battery died. Don't know how much time passed after my phone died. Seconds, minutes, hours, everything stopped making sense. All I knew was that I was still sitting in the driver's seat, hands stuck to the steering wheel, like they had grown roots into it. My chest rising and falling so fast, it felt like my lungs would tear. And beside me, behind me, around me, something was breathing, not human, not animal, something slow, wet, patient. The road in front of me was no longer a road. It was a moving tunnel of darkness, like we were driving inside a giant throat, the walls pulsing slightly, shrinking and expanding. Every time they moved, I felt pressure in my head, like fingers squeezing my brain. The thing behind me whispered again, "Drive." Its voice was mixed, now Mark, Jason. Meal at once, like 3 radios playing in one mouth. I tried to scream, no sound came out. My throat felt stitched shut. The dashboard lights started blinking, speed 40, 60, 90, 140. I wasn't pressing anything. The car was deciding. Then suddenly the headlights revealed something ahead. A traffic jam, cars, dozens of them, stopped, engines on, lights on, no drivers inside, just empty seats, all facing forward like a frozen parade. I slammed the brake. It worked this time. Car screeched and stopped inches away from the last vehicle. My head hit the steering wheel. Blood filled my mouth, metallic. Warm. I tasted it. The thing behind me laughed, a broken laugh, like glass shaking. Doors of the empty cars started opening one by Ani, Kriya, Chrome Cree. Inside them, people stepped out, or what used to be people. Some had no faces. Some had too many eyes. Some were missing legs. Some were dragging their organs behind them like ropes. They all turned toward me. The same time, every head snapping crack, crack, crack like sticks. Breaking, they began walking slowly, surrounding my car ends, touching glass, leaving black stains. The windshield fogged up from inside. From their breath I wiped it with my sleeve and saw my reflection. My eyes were turning black like ink, spreading veins. On my face were dark blue, pulsing. The thing behind me grabbed my hair, pulled my head back hard. I screamed. Finally, sound exploded out of me. It leaned close to my ear and whispered, "You belong here now." Suddenly, the passenger door opened. Jason was standing there, alive, smiling. "No injuries, no blood, normal," he said. "Bro, come on, get out. It's over my heart. Jump it, just on, you're alive." He held out his hand, cold vapor coming from his mouth, even though there was no cold. I almost took it, almost. Then I noticed his shadow was wrong. It was crawling, not standing like a spider. I pulled back. The real Jason's voice came from behind me, screaming, "Then trust it." The thing screamed too. The sound shattered the side mirror glass, exploded, cut my face. Blood streamed down the fake Jason's face, melted skin sliding off, revealing nothing. Inside, just darkness. It rushed at me, passed through the window, entered my body. I felt it inside my chest, moving, searching, scratching my ribs. From inside, I vomited blood on the dashboard. Car started moving again, dragging me and the empty cars with it. They were following like a train of dead metal. The road turned downward, steep, like falling into a pit. We were going faster and faster. 150,000, 170, 200. I couldn't breathe. My ears popped, my vision blurred. Then suddenly we were at town lights, on houses, stores. People walking normal, peaceful, like nothing ever happened. Car stopped, engine off, silence. My hands were free. I opened the door and fell onto the road, crying, coughing, bleeding. A woman ran toward me. "Sir, are you okay?" I looked up. Her face was kind, human, real. I grabbed her arm, helped me. She nodded and called someone. An ambulance came, police came. They put me on a stretcher, wrapped me, asked questions. I answered, half still shaking. They said I was found alone on a road near Ridgeway. Car engine burned, windows shattered, no sign of passengers. They took me to a hospital, white walls, beeping machines, soft beds, normal life. For 3 days I slept, woke, ate, cried. Doctors said I was in shock. Police said Jason and Mark were missing. Search teams found nothing, no bodies, no signs, no accidents. Everyone said I was lucky. I didn't feel lucky. Every night at 2:37 a.m., the beeping machine changed into breathing. The shadow appeared in the corner, watching, smiling on. The fourth night, the nurse came in, smiling, said, "It's time for what." She grabbed my arm. Her fingers went inside my skin like sinking into water. Her face peeled off. It was the thing. It whispered, "Never left the road." Hospital walls melted. The bed turned into a seat. The floor turned into a seatbelt. I was back in the car, driving, hands stuck again. The tunnel of darkness returned. Jason's voice came from the radio. Mark's voice came from the vents. My own voice came from my mouth, begging. The dashboard lit up. WEME BCK speed 80. The headlights behind me appeared again. Same distance, same position, always. My phone suddenly turned on, battery recording. I grabbed it and whispered, "If you hear this, I'm still here. I'm still driving. I don't know where this road goes. I don't know if there is an end. Please don't follow shortcuts. Please don't trust empty highways. Please don't think you are special. This road takes everyone." Thing hugged me from behind, cold arms around my chest, squeezing my ribs. Cracked. I screamed. The camera fell, pointing at me. My face slowly changing, eyes blackening, smile growing, becoming like them. The screen went dark. Recording stopped. I never thought a weekend road trip could turn into a nightmare. I packed my bag, checked the car, called my best friend Tyler. We laughed about leaving the city for a few nights, music blasting, windows down. A desert highway stretching ahead like a ribbon of black asphalt. The GPS said 3 hours to the next town. Everything seemed fine. We were both joking. Singing along, the sky clear, the moon hanging like a silent witness. But as soon as we crossed the state line, the first sign appeared it wasn't normal. The orange reflective letters twisted strangely. Flickering as the car approached, it said turn back. We laughed. Tyler nudged me. Probably just some prank. Digital malfunction, nothing serious. But then the next sign, 5 minutes later, read watching you. I frowned, slowed down. But Tyler just shrugged, playing a song louder, trying to drown the feeling of dread that suddenly pressed against my chest. I felt something heavy, not air, not wind. Something pushing down, almost sitting on me. I reached back instinctively and felt the seatbelt tighten. Constricting like a snake, I laughed nervously. Tyler asked if I was okay. I said fine. But my hands were sweating, gripping the wheel. Headlights cutting through the darkness. Shadows moving along the roadside, sometimes disappearing, sometimes lingering just beyond the reach of the light. Every mile the highway seemed to stretch. Curves bending where they shouldn't, mile markers counting backwards. The GPS spinning like a broken compass. Nothing made sense. Then it started at first. Subtle, I felt a cold hand brush my shoulder. Quick, almost imagined. Tyler didn't feel anything, I laughed, saying it was my imagination. But then the rearview mirror fogged. My own reflection warped. I saw an extra figure sitting behind me, pale, faceless, stretching its arms toward me. I turned, nothing. Just the back seat, the cloth upholstery normal. But the feeling remained, heavy, pressing. Suffocating, we stopped at a gas station. Lights buzzing, flickering neon. The attendant smiled as we approached, waved like he knew us, and said, "Hey, Tyler. Hey, Mark." Names perfectly pronounced. I froze. Tyler laughed nervously. I asked, "How do you know our names?" He shrugged, said just paying attention. We laughed again, but I could feel it. The air heavy. Smells of rust and wet soil. I paid quickly, started the car. But the moment we drove off, I realized we never gave him our names. No camera, no ID check, nothing. Yet he knew. The real terror started an hour later. The highway narrowed. Asphalt rough, no other vehicles, just us. The moon casting shadows, but something moved along the shoulder. Pacing, humanoid, but wrong, too thin. Limbs bending at impossible angles. I blinked, and it disappeared. Tyler saw nothing. I didn't mention it. Fear was crawling inside my chest. Cold, heavy, but I forced myself to laugh. We talked about music, tried to keep normal, but then the steering wheel moved on its own a violent jerk, almost throwing me off. I grabbed it hard. Tyler screamed, "What the hell?" I didn't answer. Another jerk. Seatbelt tightening. Compressing my lungs, I gasped, my arms fighting against the wheel. The pedal pressed down, the car accelerating. I stomped brake, tires screeching, but it kept moving faster. The shadows on the road stretching, elongating, forming figures that seemed to reach inside the car. Scraping the dashboard, touching my hands, cold, wet, fingers slipping inside my gloves, inside my skin. Tyler screamed. I screamed, our voices overlapping. The radio burst static, then whispered our names, each breath a wet hiss. Something pressed on the back of my seat. Hands gripping my shoulders, pulling, trying to drag me backward. I jerked forward, hit the steering wheel. Blood in my mouth, tasted metal. Tyler was shouting, "I don't know what." His voice twisted in panic. The dashboard lights flickered, shadows forming inside the car, faces pressed against the glass, fingers leaving streaks of wet black stains. The mirrors fogging with words. Look back, Turn back. You belong here, eh? Slammed on the brakes. Car skidded, but the road didn't stop. The highway elongated infinitely. Curves bending upward, downward, impossible geometry. I saw headlights behind us, dozens of vehicles. No drivers, empty seats, but moving, chasing, closing in. Mirrors showing extra passengers, faces twisted, faceless, eyes bleeding. Screaming silently, reaching for us, pressing against windows. Hands scrabbling at doors. Tyler grabbed my arm, trying to pull me down. The glove compartment opened on its own. Papers flying, glass shattered from side window. Something outside smashing it from nowhere. I felt a sharp claw rip my forearm. Metal screeching inside the door, blood, warm, seeping. Something cold brushing across my face, whispering in my ear. Your turn, voices multiplying, overlapping, echoing. I hit the horn. It sounded like a scream, tires leaving asphalt sparks. Shadow limbs pressing from the sides. The seats jerking violently, the belt digging into my chest. Lungs crushing, trying to scream. Could not. The car flipped slightly. Controlled, landed upright, doors locked, engine roaring. Yet moving at impossible speed, speedometer spinning past 150, 170, 200. Figures pressed against the car. Black wet hands clawing, sliding inside vents. Dashboard lights flickering red. Shadows inside the mirrors, pressing out, whispering, licking, biting at our ears, brushing neck. Tyler screaming. Grabbing at nothing. I grabbed him, tried to hold him down, but the force pushing us apart. Seatbelts slicing into skin, scratches on arms. Bruises forming in seconds. We could feel them. We were bleeding, alive, and dying at the same time. The middle sequence lasted hours. Minutes, I don't know. The highway twisted. Objects from roadside appearing inside the car. Rocks, branches, metal rods, moving as if alive, pressing, pushing. Bodies stretching in reflection. I saw my own face melting. Tyler's turning into dozens of faces screaming silently. Blood streaks appearing on ceiling. Walls of car bending inward. A voice saying, "Your fear is ours. Your bodies are ours. You belong to the road." A shadow climbed from rear view to my shoulder. Cold fingers inside my collarbone. Pressing, digging, lungs screaming. Heart pounding so fast, I thought it would explode at one point. I saw the motel lights ahead. Neon flickering, normal, peaceful. Like salvation, I floored it. Brakes working for the first time. Hearts racing, blood on hands, seatbelt bruises forming. The car sliding into the parking lot. Tires smoking, we stumbled out, supporting each other. Breathing hard, hair sticking, sweat and blood. Looked like nightmare made flesh. The attendant standing outside. Normal face, smiling, holding a clipboard. Said, "Welcome, you made it. We shouldn't be here." Words dripping cold, we froze. But nothing could move us, shadows lingering. Fingers pressing through walls of car, reaching for us. And then I realized the road didn't end. We were already back on it. We stumbled onto the asphalt. Bloodied, bruised, lungs burning, hearts hammering. Shadows pressing from all sides. Whispering our names, wet hands sliding across arms. Chest, neck, clawing, pulling. I could feel them inside me. Inside Tyler, every breath a knife, every heartbeat a scream. The highway stretching endlessly. No moon, no end. Just black road alive and hungry. Tyler screamed, his hands clawed through the car windows. Dragging at him, fingers pressing into his shoulder. Chest trying to pull him off. I grabbed him, twisting, pulling. But the shadows multiplied, climbing inside the seats. The vents, the mirrors, wet, clammy, cold, pressing, suffocating, whispering secrets, mocking, laughing, calling our fears, twisting them. Our screens swallowed by the asphalt itself, the motel appeared, flickering neon lights promising safety. We ran, but doors slammed shut, windows stretched into black void. The attendant grinned, whispering, "You should never have left the road." Long shadows pressed through walls, ceiling bending, hands grabbing, twisting, brushing teeth, shoulders, hair, dragging, suffocating, laughing, licking, biting, whispers overlapping, endless. Inescapable, we tried to run. Stumble, escape, every step met pressure. Fingers, shadows, the road itself alive. Feeding on fear, twisting time, stretching space, echoing our screams. Multiplying our terror, the car, the highway, the air, alive, watching, pressing, clawing, and then I realized, as I clutched Tyler's arm, both of us bloodied, bruised, suffocating. The road had claimed us. Shadows had consumed us. Every mile, every breath, every heartbeat belonged to it. Endless, eternal, and far ahead, another car approached. Oblivious, laughing, music blaring. And the highway waited patiently, hungry for the next screams we ran. We screamed, we bled, and the road drove us forever. We thought it would be a normal weekend. Just me and my friend Jordan, the open road, the car packed. Snacks stacked, playlists ready, sun dipping low over the desert horizon. Sky burning orange and pink. The first hour was easy. Smooth asphalt under tires, music blasting. Wind whipping through the windows, laughter filling the car. Selfies in the mountains, freedom stretching ahead. Nothing could touch us, nothing should, but as soon as we passed the old state highway marker, everything changed, the air thickened, heavy. Like invisible hands pressing our lungs, every breath sharp. Every heartbeat hammering, the first sign appeared. Crooked letters on a wooden post, hand-painted, it said, "Stay in car." Jordan laughed, I frowned, slowed. Tires crunching gravel, headlights catching something. A figure beyond the trees, impossibly tall. Limbs bent at wrong angles, dragging fingers through the dirt. Unmoving, pale, blank face, I blinked. Gone, nothing, but the weight in my chest remained. Pressing down, burning, suffocating, and the shadows inside the car appeared at first flickers in the rearview mirror. Reflections too many, faces twisted, mouths opening silently, then hands, cold, wet, clammy, slipping through vents, tugging, grasping, crawling across seats, pressing into my chest, my arms, twisting hair, digging nails into skin. I screamed. Jordan screamed. Steering wheel jerking violently. Seatbelts cutting into our bruised shoulders. Dashboard lights exploding. Radio blaring whispers in our voices, names, secrets. Every memory we tried to hide screamed back at us. The road stretched endlessly. Asphalt glowing faint red beneath headlights. The horizon bending, lights stretching into infinity. Motel signs appearing impossibly tall, flickering like dying eyes. Shadows pressing harder, climbing inside. Hands reaching through cracks and doors, around the wheel, grasping ankles. Fingers digging into thighs, the seatbelt tightening. Crushing ribs, lungs burning, heart hammering like it would burst. Jordan twisted, yanking at a shadow that had latched to his arm. Claws sinking in, blood warm, sticky, the shadows multiplying. Climbing across the dash, slithering over mirrors. Reflections screaming, mouths opening wider. Eyes black, endless, twisting. Wet whispers licking our ears, telling us our fears. Mocking, laughing, dragging us closer, pressing, suffocating. The tires skidding on asphalt that felt alive. Undulating, stretching, swallowing light, we tried the brakes. Nothing. The car moving on its own. Steering wheel twisting violently, shadows pulling the wheel. Hands pressing on my hands, arms, chest, scratching, clawing, dragging, whispering, telling us to look behind. Look, don't move. It's ours. It's waiting. It's patient. The desert sky darkening unnaturally. Stars vanishing, clouds swirling like smoke. Wind howling through vents, rattling the car. Hands pressing through seats, climbing dashboard, reaching, pulling, whispering our names, latching on, suffocating, burning. Cold, the middle stretch of the highway became chaos. Every mile a battle, hands grabbing, pulling, twisting, shadows crawling into the steering column, reaching through vents, clawing, latching, chest pressed, lungs burning, screaming, no relief. Mirrors showing reflections multiplying, each reflection clawing, dragging, whispering, the tires skidding over cracks that seemed alive. The road bending, stretching, swallowing light, shadows dancing over asphalt, crawling over roof, hood, doors, whispering, breathing, tasting our fear. Jordan screamed as one shadow lunged from the back seat, pressing into his chest, clawing into ribs, digging into arms, trying to pull him down. I twisted, pulled, grabbed his wrists, dragging him toward the front, my own arm scratched, blood dripping, seatbelt cutting deeper, shadows pressing from outside, stretching across windows, faces forming in the glass, mouths opening wide, screens silent but palpable, wet hands clawing through vents, pressing into my neck, hair, face, whispering secrets, calling our fears, twisting. Mocking, the bridge appeared, high over black water, fog curling below like smoke, faint lights flickering across the surface. Salvation, maybe, but shadows pressed harder, climbing over the car, fingers dragging over roof, hood, doors, clawing, whispering, laughing, wet, cold, alive. The car teetered on rails, asphalt disappearing beneath, shadows pressing, twisting, dragging, chest burning, lungs crushed, every heartbeat a knife, every breath a scream. Headlights appeared ahead. Normal car, human, yet shadows recoiled, hissing, slipping back just enough for us to move. We floored it, tires screaming, asphalt stretching endlessly. Desert empty, except for the faint glow ahead. Whispers fading but alive, hands retreating, chest decompressing. Bruises still throbbing, scratches bleeding. Adrenaline high, hearts hammering, lungs gasping, yet the road waited. Patient, eternal, watching, hungry, and we knew. We survived tonight, but the highway would hunt again. Somewhere, someone, next time we didn't speak. Didn't breathe easy, only stared, bloodied, bruised, shaking, alive, terrified, and the normal road beneath calm. Asphalt quiet, yet I could feel it. The highway alive, patient, eternal, waiting for the next car, the next screams, the next fear to feed on.